Kawhi Leonard and Paul George made their first official appearance as Clippers yesterday. Both superstars said they actually grew up as Clipper fans, and Kawhi told our friend Chris Haynes that he did not lead anyone on in free agency and was close to signing with the Lakers. Kawhi also told Chris he was not the architect of the deal, as people have claimed. The two stars are in LA, so of course they were asked about that other team at Staples Center. Take a listen.
You understand the dynamics of the NBA in this town and the giant shadow cast over the Clippers by the Lakers all these years. How important is it for both of you to lead this team out of that shadow?
I mean, as far as the last few years, as far as a basketball standpoint, the Clippers have been better. You know, they've been.
And I just think Lakers is Lakers. We got our own identity. We chasing something else. You know, we not looking at the battle of LA. You know, we got bigger things in mind and bigger goals to accomplish.
All right, we're joined by Yahoo senior NBA insider Chris Haynes.
And by the way, that is a sharp suit.
Thank you,
I finally have an opponent on this show who can dress.
Oh, that's what it is. There you go. Well, on that note, Chris,
I'll take a skip.
You were there yesterday. You did have a one-on-one with Kawhi as well. So what was your biggest takeaway from everything?
My biggest takeaway from, look, Kawhi's demeanor, it struck me as something I haven't seen from him
honestly
throughout his NBA career. If you look, I actually had a one-on-one with him and Paul George at the same time. Then I got a one-on-one with just Kawhi. And this guy, I asked him about the Lakers. You know, he was like, look, man. He asked him about the Lakers and the Raptors supposedly being led on. He's like, look, they didn't have to wait for me. He said, I was trying to make a decision for my family. You know, I asked him about, you know, Magic and feeling like Magic was the reason why the Lakers didn't get a fair shake because he publicly let out the conversation. He was like, no, that wasn't the case. He said if whatever was said and it was truthful, what Magic said, he didn't have a problem with it. But he was just candid, he was loose, and he was free. I mean, if you look at this press conference compared to his press conference he did in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like he was almost like held hostage there.
Yeah.
he was.
He didn't look happy.
Yeah, but this was a guy, you know, he let out a few profanities just to, you know, in our interview and just show how free and good he felt. And I'm gonna say this. I know most fans don't care about this sort of thing. But he told me, he was like, look, Chris, I've been in the league, you know, 7, 8 years. And the problem, he said, the reason why I wanted to come home is because he said, when I would come back during the offseason, I would see my nieces and my nephews. And he said, over time, they just got so big. And he said, they were playing basketball and doing other things. And he said, I completely missed their whole upbringing. And so he said, for me, family was a big decision. And that's why he told me that this wasn't a basketball decision. It was a family decision. And I asked him, I was like, okay, so if Paul George wouldn't have came, what would have happened? And he was like, Paul George, that was the chip. That's what got it. And I was also told, you know, through my sources, that it would have been the Lakers had Paul George not, you know, being able to be a part of the Clippers. So it was more of a family decision. I asked about Toronto, how they felt. He was like, look, Toronto knew where I wanted to go from the first place, you know, from the get-go. And so he didn't hold no punches. I was just taken back just how candid and upfront he was.
Well, I never thought Toronto was a viable option because he didn't like being in Toronto. He didn't mind the guys were cool, but he didn't like being there. And it was the Clippers, and what happened was, if he didn't think he could get the Clippers to acquiesce and make that move for another superstar, he would have made this move on a Monday and Tuesday. But he was stringing it out because he's like, well, we're going to need some time. Because you coming to we didn't know anything about this. If you came to us early in the process, or if we could have got an inclination, we could have set this chain of events in motion. He was just, okay, be patient. Like he said, he didn't force them away. You could have moved on.
Yeah.
They didn't. My only thing is, I got no problem with what Kawhi did. I got no problem with what Paul George did, but I need him to own it. Yesterday, they was up there cooking them old fresh-baked lies. Ain't nobody no architect. Kawhi done built a house. He living in the house. That's my I had nothing to do with it. I just moved in. You built that, Kawhi. For Paul George to sit up on that stage, Chris Haynes, and say me, Russ, Sam Presti, and Mr. Clay Bennett was in agreement. No, it wasn't. You called Sam Presti and told him you wanted to go to the Clippers. Why not Boston? Why the Clippers? Now, he was a free agent. He could have went to L.A. last year. He could have went to the Clippers. He went to OKC. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's in agreement. See, the thing is, LeBron James is the crash dummy, the test dummy. See, he does something. Oh, you see what all them dings that he got? Well, we don't want to do that. So I got it. Because everybody thinks that anything that goes on in an organization that LeBron's at, oh, LeBron did that. Oh, the coach got fired, LeBron did that. Oh, they got a new player. Oh, LeBron wanted him. Well, oh, we don't want that. We don't want that kind of backlash, Skip. We want the praise and adulation that LeBron gets. But we don't want that criticism. My guy, shake it off. Oh, he shake it off, shake it off. Yeah, he like Taylor Swift. Shake it off, shake it and keep it moving.
I wouldn't know what you're talking
Don't worry about it.
I'm right with you, Skip.
But those two guys, they need to stop, Chris.
Taylor Swift.
Don't worry about it. That's not my guy. He shake off criticism. Shake it off. And when you heap the praise, he said, I'll take it, but I'll take the criticism also. They want all that praise. They don't want none of that criticism.
Okay, I hear you on that, but quick point of order here. Shannon Sharp says now that he did no way ever want to go back to Toronto, but on the day he grandstand flew back to Toronto with his entourage in tow, right? What did Shannon Sharp say on the show?
I told him he going to get his stuff. I told him he going to get his stuff. He left it belongings out there. He
did not say that. Shannon Sharp said, maybe I'm wrong about this. Why would you fly all the way back to Toronto if you have no interest in staying in Toronto?
That's why I went back that letter. Skip said, why you going back there? I said, I'm going to get my things. I'm moving to L.A.
That's not what happened. Shannon, he bamboozled your Lakers, and maybe Lakers were second choice. I don't know that, but Clippers were definitely number one for number two.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So my big takeaway from yesterday was, did they rearrange the truth on some things?
Is that what we use now?
It's my word. I just invented that word because my biggest takeaway was the Clippers came across yesterday as the model franchise in Los Angeles, if not in the entire NBA. It felt yesterday like the Clippers arrived as the team with the owner and the coach and the president and the general manager and now the stars.
And the head coach.
Okay, that's what I said, the head coach.
Yes.
And these players were so ready for this media session. They were so media trained. It was clear they had rehearsed every possible question and answer. They had thought it through with their media staff. In fact, they probably went to school the day before. If you get asked about Oklahoma City, if you get asked about LeBron, if you get asked about Lakers, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? Think with us. They're probably provided potential answers that they could either choose or not choose because they were ready. And the Lakers are now coming across as what the Clippers used to be. The Lakers are now the dysfunctional laughingstock in the NBA, and the Clippers are model. They're perfect. They took you went there. Where was that rec center? It was in South Central, right? They went to the people. What was around the rec center? A giant mural of both number 2 and Paul George, right?
Trying to get in the good graces.
They went back to the people. The Lakers would have done glitz and glitter and Hollywood at Staples or in El Segundo at their gleaming facility.
I agree. Skip is making a point here.
Okay.
Let the man preach.
But come on. That's Lakers.
But let me tell you something to add to what you said. One thing that also struck me, not something that they said at the press conference, Lawrence Frank. So I brought up Paul George was the kingpin. He was the reason why Kawhi ended up going to L.A. Lawrence Frank went up there and said, you know, these guys wanted to be on a team that was drama-free. So if Kawhi was intent on coming to L.A. regardless for family reasons, that Paul George swung the thing because he would have went to the Lakers.
It's interesting.
He would have went there. But there is some drama that goes on with the Lakers.
There just is. He is the drama king.
Let me ask you a question. Why of all the places, he's already, so 28 other teams. He wasn't going back, so 27 other teams. How did Paul George know the Clippers?
Well, look, I don't think, listen. I mean, they were open and communicating and said that, you know, they talked and
so
they're no architect. I mean, things go on all all the time.
Skip, like, would you say rearrange? Well,
Rearrange
some people
that.
say they misspoke the truth. But where I'm from, we call them lies. That's all. It's simple.
But
Capital A.
hey, Sam, you brought up, you mentioned, you said, look, LeBron James and how they do things, Paul George is getting the easy path because the way he went about it, right? The way he went about it. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they did work with him. Now, we can talk. Now, what happened? He probably requested a trade.
Yes.
To get me to L.A. But he got the other team to cooperate because Oklahoma City doesn't want to be viewed as.
Just remember, Sam Presti was perfectly ready to blow it up.
Yeah.
He was ready, and all of a sudden the Clippers presented an opportunity.
Boom.
I can blow that up.
Boom.
And then Daryl Morey presents a second opportunity. I can blow up this. Russell Westbrook.
Let me ask you a question. You hack into the server at Wells Fargo, and you steal $20 million. I go into Bank of America, and I pull my gun, and I steal $5,000. Did you commit a crime?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so Paul George committed a crime, too. But he tried to get escaped. That was a cyber crime. But he going to jail. I'm going to make sure everybody know what he did.
I don't think he's going to jail. I think he's going to the finals.
No, when I say jail, I'm going to make sure he get that criticism like Anthony Davis gets.
Well, that's fine, but is he going to jail? He'll be on the run a lot longer because he got a lot more money. Yeah. Because you only stole $5,000. You ain't getting far.
No, but see, my homeboy Brian put that money on the books for me.
Oh,
I'm going to set it down. Brian got me.
Oh, you trust Brian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go deliver. Watch it. Ooh, Skip Bayless. I cannot wait. Because you over there like, because you didn't want this. He did not want Kawhi. Can you imagine? He didn't want Kawhi and Bron to hook up. But you get your wishes. You get Paul George and Kawhi.
I told you it took some guts on both counts for them to say, we're going to take on that team and that man in this city, right?
But
not intimidated.
And they run, look, they can downplay it all they want, talking about, we're not worried about, we're going to try to build our legacy here. One thing Kawhi did tell me, he did say this. He said, look, it's going to take one win at a time, one championship at a time, if they can get that one championship. But he mentioned New York. He said they're going through the same situation. He said no matter how much Brooklyn wins, the Knicks is still going to be a Knicks city.
Yeah, okay.
But look, they want this. They want to win this town over. They want to do this. They ain't going to happen.
Let me ask you a question. How many titles the Mets can win to make it and make you forget about the Yankees? Or what about the Jets make you forget about the Giants? What can the Clippers do with do you understand what the Lakers represent? Magic, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq.
Hey, I got to tell you, the 69 Mets, they leveled that playing field in New York City. I'm sorry, they just did.
And
it was 50-50.
And you know one player. You know Tom Seaver, and you know Nolan Ryan was on that team. But I go Mantle, DiMaggio, Gehrig, Ruth.
Well, they were okay, but they were gone by
I'm saying, and that's why you never forget.
That's before all of our time.
It was, but you still know the
brought it up. I finished. The best shot of the day was fired quickly by number 2 to a question from Bill Plaschke at the Los Angeles Times, and in number 2's understated, low-key sort of way, he said, I mean, as far as the last few years, Clippers have been better. That's all I had to say. And then all of a sudden, applause started.
That wasn't me, Skip. I wasn't applauding.
Okay, you weren't?
Professional.
Okay, but just for the record, last 6 seasons, Lakers have missed the playoffs. Last 6 seasons, the Lakers overall have been tied with the Knicks for the worst record in the NBA. That's LeBron's franchise now.
The way it is, but he's been there for 1 year, so stop trying to make it seem like he's been there all 6 of those years.
But that's who he plays for. That's who he represents.
He went there. He didn't hold anybody hostage. He went there without a superstar. Okay, so let him have done that.
I'm gonna touch a nerve right here, Shannon.
What you gonna do?
The Dallas Cowboys. Ain't that Skip team as well?
That's his team.
What are they known for right now? Are they known for all those Super Bowl? No. Dysfunction? Dysfunction.
They're not known for dysfunction.
They're not known for dysfunction.
They won the NFC East 2 of the last 3 years. How do you do that?
That's what we're trying to win, the NFC East.
That's a good start.
That ain't no good start.
They won a playoff game last year. They should have won 2 playoff games last year.
Dallas Cowboys.
Dysfunction? I don't know any dysfunction.
But to touch on your point,
they're a well-oiled machine.
But to touch on your point with Kawhi saying that the Clippers have been better, and they have, because they have people in position that's qualified. When Dr. Buss died, he put people were in position that were not qualified. Steve Ballmer, if he can run Microsoft, he can run the Clippers. Jerry West has built things everywhere he's been. Doc Rivers is bona fide. So,
Bill Clapp, wait a second.